Today I answer this. I'm Matthew Heneghan, a former paramedic and military veteran with near 17 years of experience, and sometimes I have some stories to tell. And so if that's your bag, then please hit that subscribe button. Today I'm answering a question written to me by somebody who watches the channel. They asked what the craziest call is that I've ever been to as a paramedic. There's a host of them. There's a few. There's some ones. But the one that always stands out in mind, and the one that I always go to, is the one that I'm going to tell you today. So stick around to the very end because it is kind of a doozy. So the call started out very mundane. It was a day shift. I was working with not my regular partner. I'm just going to call him Alan for the purpose of this video. We were on one of the main drags heading to a station for coverage. And on our way there, we get dispatched to a motor vehicle collision. And it came across as low priority, no lights, no sirens. And we thought, okay, fine, fair enough. So we're driving to the call. I'm in the passenger seat. I have my coffee in hand, much like I do today in one of my favorite mugs here, Monsters. Love this stuff. Halloween year-round in my house. So we're on the way to this call. I'm sipping my coffee. I got my paperwork out, or my laptop, ready to do paperwork. And we turn left onto this residential street, which is where the call is to take place. And my partner just goes, oh. And so I look up, and I see this guy has another gentleman pinned against a car, and he's just feeding him shots, just hammer fisting this guy. And so I'm like, oh, crap. And of course, the other people around have seen the ambulance now, so they start running to the ambulance to try and get us to stop this whole thing. We're not cops, okay? We're generally not supposed to be around when the violence is currently actively taking place. So I radio into it. I'm like, hey, dispatch, we need 10-3s, which is our call sign for cops. We need 10-3s here immediately. Please send them as fast as you can. And so we start kind of slowly pulling up, but the guy that's punching finally stops, and he looks over at the ambulance, and he's just holding this guy there. And I realize that it's a gentleman probably in his mid to late 30s, fairly well built, looks like a blue collar guy, holding on to a younger fella, skinny, probably early 20s, right? Barely just out of the teens. And so I hop out of the car, and I have my door kind of shielding me in between the violence, and I go, hey, we got a call for like a car accident? And the guy's like, yeah, this piece of shit stole my wife's car and then crashed it into my neighbor's car. And I'm like, what? So what had happened was the wife was getting ready to go to work. So the husband was saying goodbye to the wife. And apparently this younger gentleman just hopped into the car and tried to take off. And as he was attempting to take off, the husband was trying to grab him out of the door. Anyway, the guy driving lost control of the vehicle and slammed right into the back of the neighbor's vehicle. And thusly, the husband grabbed the young kid, brought him out, and just started feeding him street justice for trying to steal his wife's car. And so I was like, okay, can we if we take the kid and put him in the, can we do that? Is that cool? And he's like, yeah, get rid of this piece of shit. So I'm like, okay, all right. So we take the kid, I put him in the truck. I start asking everyone else if they're okay. My partner's in the truck, Alan's in the truck with the kid. And I start, kind of doing my scene assessment, asking people what's going on. Everyone else is fine. There was nobody else in the neighbor's vehicle, nothing like that. So I go back into the ambulance, kind of tell Alan my findings. Alan says, yeah, he's got some minor facial abrasions. They're mostly glancing blows, it looks like. Okay. So I was like, kid, what the hell, dude? Why'd you try to steal the car? He's like, I have to go get my girlfriend. And I was like, what? Like, you're late for a date? Like, what's going on? And he's like, no. My girlfriend was run over and they stole her, and I gotta go get her. And I was like, wait a second. Who ran over her? Who stole her? Where did this happen? What's going on here? And he goes, up at the side, up at the crosswalk, just up the road. They hit her and they took off with her. And I'm like, oh, okay, buddy. All right. 'Cause this sounds, he's trying to justify stealing somebody else's car. I'm like, all right. So I get out of the car and I'm like, I know where the crosswalk is. I'm going to walk up there. And I walk up. And as I'm walking up, I see a small female shoe. Like it's a pink Converse All-Star. So I guess it doesn't have to be female, but small enough. It's petite. And it's just laying in the crosswalk. And as I walk up closer to the crosswalk, I see some blood in the crosswalk. And I'm like, wait a tick. What the hell's... So I quickly take a picture of it on my cell phone. And I go running back. I was like, hey, does your girlfriend have pink Converse? And then he says All-Stars. And I was like, yeah. Okay. So Alan kind of looks at me and I'm like, hey, buddy, there's like a pink shoe up there. What the... Like, you might want to... So Alan goes out to go take a look. And I'm talking to this kid. And I notice now the kid... I'm going to call him a kid. He's 20. I notice he's kind of looks a little peaked, right? He's sweating a little bit. He's breathing a little quick. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And he's like, I don't feel well. And I'm thinking probably anxiety. He just got his butt kicked. Alan at this point is radioed in for another ambulance just in case. Also, police have finally showed up. And I'm like, okay. And I notice this kid now on our monitor, his oxygen levels are going down a little bit. I'm like, hey man, you got to try and slow your breathing, okay? Slow your breathing. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to breathe. I'm like, all right. So a lot of times during assessment for assaults, you check for surreptitious things, really sneaky things that you may not see in a broad inspection. And so I start going through, looking at his scalp, going through, looking arms, looking for kind of puncture wounds or stab wounds, just in case. I don't think this guy that was beating him stabbed him, but whatever. I lift up his shirt and I look under his armpit, and sure enough, there are 2 puncture wounds just below his armpit in his chest. And I'm like, hey, dude, you've been stabbed. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, did this guy stab you? And he goes, no. I was like, well, who stabbed you? He goes, the guys that took my girlfriend. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. They came up to the crosswalk, they hit her, and then they were taking her and I tried to fight and then beat me up. And that's when I went to get the car. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? The cop comes into the back of the ambulance. Now I relay all of this to the cop. Alan comes back. He's like, there's a shoe up there. I'm like, I know there's a shoe up there. I told you that. And so the cop is listening to the story. The cop's like, what the are you talking about? I'm like, I know. But we now have to go to the hospital. This kid's not doing well. We got to get him off to the hospital. He needs some serious help here. And so I stay in the back. Alan starts driving. And then as we're about halfway to the hospital, I get a notification over my radio, just because you hear other calls going on as well. And I get a notification in my earpiece and it says Alpha 19. It's another ambulance. Alpha 19. You're responding to possible hit and run. Female left in the middle of the road by, on Wayne Gretzky Drive. Female left in the middle of the road. So I send a quick message to that crew while I'm in the back of the ambulance working on this kid. And I asked the kid, I was like, what was your girlfriend wearing? And he tells me, and so I sent a text to my buddy there who's on the other call. And he said, yeah, confirmed she's wearing a black dress. And I was like, well, she's wearing a black dress. So they dumped her out of the car while they were like, whoever took her, for whatever reason they took her, dumped her out of the car in the middle of the freaking highway in the middle of the city. And another crew had to go get her. Turns out that we all converged at the same hospital. And so I got my guy who now needs like some like needle decompression. He's got some serious things going on. So he gets taken off into a room. And then we see the other crew wheeling with this girl who's unconscious. And she's got, they're helping her breathe or whatever. They got a little airway in. And they wheel her in. And the nurse is like, so what happened to your guy? I was like, well, my guy's connected to this girl. And this girl's connected to my guy. But they weren't together when the things happened. Here's what happened. And so I start relaying the story to her. And the nurse is like, wait, because they have to chart all this, right? They're like, what happened? Okay, slow down. What is, and then Alan comes in like a rock star and he goes, I have her shoe. And he just shows the nurse this pink shoe. He goes, it was in the cross. Anyway, everybody lived. Everyone was fine. The dude that was beating up the young guy, I actually felt bad. Oh, really? Shit, I think I'd have done the same thing. Yeah. So that ranks up there with one of the craziest calls that I've ever responded to.